Hey everybody, I'm Chris. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you're a returning subscriber. If you are, thank you so much for coming back to my corner of the internet. Today we're reviewing the Juvias Place Natural Radiance I Am Magic Foundation. So if you'd like to see how it looks, how it wears, and if it works with other products, stay exactly where you are because we're getting into it right now. This portion of today's video is brought to you by Body & Earth's 5-piece bath set. I chose the fresh ocean scent because who doesn't want to smell like they're at the ocean? Every item within the set contains essential oils, and the whole kit has everything you need for your very own special spa day. Check the description for a link for your very own set and pick your own fragrance. I got mine from Ulta. I got the shade Alexandria 650. And speaking of shades, there are 30 shades of this foundation. Juvias Place is not playing when it comes to complexion. This was $23, and the description on Ulta's website says, Juvias Place I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation is an easy glide foundation for a flawlessly radiant and luminous complexion. Both light and hard-working, this water-resistant formula will naturally minimize imperfections to smooth, protect, and hydrate the skin with lasting results. It's got a natural radiant finish, medium coverage, and long wear. The key ingredients are the formula is enriched with acerola cherries, rich in vitamin A and C to protect and hydrate the skin. So not only is this beautiful tube of foundation going to be good for the skin, but also naturally radiant and pretty good coverage. I like full coverage myself, but I'm not gonna put down a medium coverage foundation. It all depends on the mood of the day. As per usual, I like to have you guys zoomed in so you can see a little more clearly. And to start out, as I always do, I'm priming with the Winky Lux Whipped Cream Primer. This has a really soft and silky formula, and it's slightly mattifying, but not enough to really make a difference underneath foundation. That's why I enjoy it, because it doesn't dry me out, but it fills all my pores. That's also why I love to use a palette knife instead of my hands, so that I can really put it in the pores and then remove the excess product from the skin, because I don't want there to be any slip on the surface of my skin. Okay, got the target areas taken care of. Now just gonna blend all of that in, make sure there's no excess just hanging out somewhere that I missed. And right now on my face, it feels very, very smooth, very dimethicone or silicone-y. So what I like to do right after everything is filled is just take a clean paper towel, or as clean as you have around you, and then wipe away whatever's left that's not filling the pores. And sometimes that step is necessary, sometimes it's not. It just depends on what foundation you're using and if it's gonna work with oil or not. If it's water-based, you're probably gonna have a lot of slip. That's what I'm trying to avoid. It does say to shake well with cap facing down. That's good advice, because I don't think I would have done that necessarily. And let's see a run test. Let's see how runny this foundation is, or if it's a thicker kind of consistency. I'd say it's about in the middle. It's not super watery, but it's also not the thickest foundation I've used. By the way, sorry for my nails. I know they're not cute today. I've got hair color under them, and it's gonna take forever to get that hair color out. And I really don't want to put product on top of them. And I used to do a brush application on one side and a sponge application on the other, but I'd say probably 10 out of 10 times I end up going in with the sponge anyway, so I'm just gonna do my normal method of applying with a brush, blending with a sponge. You'll at least be able to see what both methods look like. I just already know for sure I'm gonna go in with a sponge. So let's start working right down the center of the face, and we'll blend out from there. Oh my gosh, this smells so good. That smells like watermelon. Oh my gosh, it smells like watermelon. Oh my gosh. Juvias plays. Ah, you did that. Did you do that for me? I think you really did. I haven't even blended it out yet and I know I love it. Oh, you better look good. I swear you better look good. Oh, it smells so good. I just can't get over it. It's amazing. Okay, shade might have been a little off for me. It's a little yellow. I don't really even think it matches my neck, but oh well. We'll make it work. Definitely medium coverage. I'm not getting super light coverage out of it. I don't think this is something that can be really sheared out unless you're gonna mix it with something like a moisturizer or something like that. But just upon first impressions, it is immediately medium coverage. As much as I hate to say it, I will say if you don't like fragrance in your foundation, the watermelon is pretty strong. So you might not enjoy that like I do, but if you like watermelon and you don't mind a little bit of fragrance in your foundation, you'll love it. It is very skin-like. I mean, it looks just like my skin. I've got that nice glow on the edges, so it is definitely radiant. Oh, I've got a little alpha moment. What is that? It's also nice that it doesn't leave a bunch of brush strokes behind, so I would say you could use this just with a brush. Make sure we blend down the neck, especially since this is not my shade. It's close, but I think I'm gonna have to get a little warmer to match that yellow a little bit. Definitely gotta get the ears too, since they're much more red than my face is at the moment. Now I had pumped out 3 pumps on the palette. I'm just gonna take whatever's left over and go in with the sponge. Just soak some of the product into that. Then using that side, I'm just gonna press it in the areas where I like a little more coverage, just to be sure it doesn't blend away and soak up all the foundation immediately. It's so strange not having eyeshadow on at this point. I've always got eyeshadow on before I put foundation on. But today is all about the foundation and the foundation review. Also, I did start another YouTube channel. It's called The Hogwarts Gamer. I'll have it linked down below. It's JOAH Gamer, because I'm a homo. But I just created the account today so I can start live streaming playing Hogwarts Legacy. I was so upset. I ordered it from GameStop and they didn't have the Xbox S version listed, only the Xbox X. So I went ahead and ordered the X version, assuming that it was going to be X/S. It was not. It was only the Xbox X version. So I'd opened the plastic for the game to look inside to see if maybe there was a code or something that I needed to download the game immediately. Couldn't find one, so I went to GameStop to return it, and the girl there was like, you have the plastic off already, so I can't return it, but we can do a buyback and I can buy it back for $35. And I was like, no thanks. I'll just try to sell it. If that's the case, surely I can get more than $35 for it. So now it's listed on Facebook Marketplace for $90 instead. Either way, I am super excited to play it. I went ahead and downloaded it from the Xbox Microsoft Store instead, so it is on the Xbox ready to go. Let's see how we're looking so far. It's still naturally radiant. I get where they're going with that. I actually feel like I look a little dry, maybe just a little more textured than I normally would with what I would think a Luminess foundation would leave me with. That is sort of disappointing, but I bet you once I spray my face with some setting spray and let everything melt together, that will probably not look as bad. Just my texture seems a little more obvious than normal. That's all. So far, it actually kind of reminds me a little bit of the IT Cosmetics Nude Glow CC Cream. Having that glow, but having the texture like it's matte, that kind of vibe. Now let's see if it'll work with my cream products. All of the cream products I'm using today are from Winky Lux. Of course, I didn't mean to make this a Winky Lux Juvia's Place video, but so far it is. They just have good products, what can I say? I'm using the bronzing stick in the shade Golden Touch, the Viral Cheeky Rose blush in Tea Time, and the Viral Cheeky Rose highlighter in Champagne. And for concealer, I'm using the Benefit Boing Bright On Concealer. And I'm not doing any brightening, I'm not highlighting any other portions of my face except my under eyes, and that's just to get rid of my dark circles. I want to see how this foundation wears, not everything else. Here's where we are after the cream products. I went ahead and turned my brightness down just a little bit so you can see a little more clearly. Let's zoom in and let you get a good look before I start everything with powder. All I did for the eyes is pull up the bronzer and the blush and the highlighter and throw those in the crease, the highlighter on the lid. Not a whole lot. I plan on doing just a little bit of yellow liner, just, you know, Hufflepuff. Go Hufflepuff. But anyway, this is what the foundation looks like. I think it looks really pretty, really, really radiant, but in a really soft, natural looking way, just like they describe. Again, though, the texture is a little intense on the forehead, so I would definitely recommend using a hydrating primer before this. Make sure you moisturize really well beforehand, and I think that will take care of most of the texture that I'm experiencing so far. And for powder products today, I'm using the Laura Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder mixed with the Too Faced Ethereal Glow Translucent Setting Powder. This is just a little too shiny for me, so I like to mix the two. And then setting the rest of the face with the Urban Decay All Nighter Waterproof Setting Powder. For bronzer, Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. For blush, the Tarte Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the shade Feisty. And highlight is also Tarte, but it's the Shape Tape Glow Powder. It's just a really soft and natural, subtle highlight. Like I said, I don't want anything to change the foundation. Powders are now all on, so what are we thinking so far? I'm still a little textured, but the way it lays on the skin, it is really, really skin-like, and I like that a lot about it. And based on that part of things, I would say it's gonna have a lot of longevity, but we won't really know until the wear test. Now this is pre-setting spray, it's just the powder finish. That being said, the radiance is still there, even with powder being all over the foundation. Now I'm gonna use the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray in Lavender. We're gonna set everywhere, then see what it looks like, then go through the wear test. Oh, I just love those setting sprays. And there we have it, completely set and dried. Wow, it is a lot more luminous now that those powders have melted into the face. It actually brought back the luminosity that the foundation has originally. Now that we have a really good look at what the foundation looks like, how it mixes with everything else, and how it set, I'm gonna go ahead and live my day like I normally would, except I'll be playing Hogwarts Legacy this time. And the next time I see you guys will be for our first check-in. Okay, you guys, we've hit about 5 hours now. Skin is looking very radiant, a little glowy, like a lot glowy. This isn't just regular indoor lighting, you know, the orange lights. If we go around here, we can see what it looks like in the studio lighting. It emphasizes a little bit more, and you can see a lot more luminosity. If you're like me and you have normal to dry skin, maybe go in with something a little bit mattifying. Maybe don't take the excess of your silicone primer off before you put it on, because this is really, really glowy. I have just a little bit of creasing, a little bit of wear and tear on the forehead, but that's nothing out of the ordinary, and actually the luminosity sort of helps hide that a little bit. There's also a little bit breaking up around my nose, but the fact that I only put on a moisturizer and a silicone primer for this to have this much radiant on me being normal, leaning, dry skin, that's pretty radiant. If you have oily skin, maybe stay away, because I could see this being very, very wet looking on someone with oily skin, based on how it looks on me right now. 9 hours, ladies and gentlemen, 9 hours that I have been wearing the Juvias Place I Am Magic Natural Radiance Foundation, and I can for sure say they mean it when they say natural radiance. I am so glowy, so radiant. I don't look greasy or oily, but I look very dewy. Here's a nice little close-up after the 9 hours, and I think it wore really, really well. I mean, it looks exactly like it did when I put it on, except for the little bit of breaking up that I have around my nose. Honestly, I think this could last even longer, but I'm done for today. It's not like I've been, you know, riding four-wheelers in the woods or anything all day long, and I didn't end up doing what I intended on doing because I could not make the Xbox and my screen recording go together and my internet be able to keep up with it, and I don't know what the problem is, but I'm going to try and figure it out. I still have not had the chance to see any part of Hogwarts Legacy because I'm waiting. I don't want any spoilers, but at least we still got to wear test the foundation. So I can definitely say I really enjoy this foundation. I know for sure I'm gonna need to use something a little bit more mattifying whenever I start the process, maybe a silicone primer and not wipe it off the skin like I said earlier, just something to kind of tone down the glowiness a little bit, because as it wears it does show that a little bit more. If you have oily skin, I don't know that you're going to love this just because it is very radiant. I do want to see really fast what happens if I use some blotting paper on my face, and I'm also going to see with the paper towel how much transfers after wearing it this long. Blotting paper is so crazy to me. It's like Instamat. Oh, my highlight. How sad. The blotting paper doesn't look too crazy. I mean, it definitely soaked something up, and based on the way my face looks now, I feel like I could get another 8 hours out of this. It looks even more so like it did when I put it on. Now here's a relatively clean side of my paper towel. Let's just stick it against my face and see if it transfers off. I'll be honest, it feels like it would transfer very easily. I mean, it's not the worst I've seen, but it does definitely transfer. Yeah, I mean, it's not terrible. I've definitely got a missing patch of makeup here, but for that being 9 hours and for it to still look this good, I'm definitely gonna give it a recommend. I have to. I mean, it was amazing. I'm excited to try it with other combinations of products just to see what kind of results I can get out of it. I think I can make this work even better for me, and I can't wait to try. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up just to let me know. Also, let me know what you thought about this foundation review. Did you think it wore well? Have you tried it yet? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about it. You guys know that I'm always hanging out down there with you, just chilling, just talking, so let's talk. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. I love you all so much, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!